welcome back to another video. Today I'm explaining the 10 commandments in 7 Deadly Sins, one of my favorite villain groups that was ever introduced. Too bad that the anime did what they did to them, which of course the members that we see in the series and the ones that we see in the story, of course, is Doree. Let me know if I'm pronouncing these words right. Doree, Droll, Esteros, Fraudrin, Galan, Gloxinia, Grey Road, Malescula, Monspeak, and Zeldrish as the leader, at least when they're first introduced. Of course, the 10 Commandments is a team formed by the Demon King in order to fight the archangels that came from the Goddess clan in the Holy War 3,000 years ago. They were meant to fight Mael, but then Mael turned into Esteros or Esterosa in order to combat the balance. Of course, that was Gother's doing, but Gother was originally part of the 10 Commandments. The maker of the doll, Gother, who is dead, even though he's a demon, so he may not be dead. Anyway. Yeah. He also makes the 10 Commandments to give up half his power, as each commandment has a part of his power, and when you have them all together, you essentially become the Demon King. But this allowed him to stay in the mortal realm or existence, so in order to fight the Goddess clan. Of course, as we see, when Meliodas takes on all the commandments' powers, he is not able to stay with the god in the mortal realm, as he's essentially a god to them. Of course, this group was defeated, at least originally, by the Coffin of Eternal Darkness alongside the rest of the Demon Clan. Of course, partially, this is also Gother's doing, along with Meliodas' help. Now, of course, they were introduced in season 2 of 7 Deadly Sins by means of, I don't want to say Fraudrin, of Hendrickson, by breaking the seal on the eternal coffin that Meliodas was carrying the key for so lackadaisically. Anyway. Anyway, Doree sin was purity, Droll's was patience, Esteros was love, Fraudrin was selfishness, even though he got done up so bad. Galand was truth, as anyone who ran away from him or hated him was brought down by his commandment. Esterosa and Galan. Gloxinia was repose. I'm not really sure what she does. Grey Road was pacifism. Mesca was faith. Monspeck was retinence. And Zeldris was piety. Of course, the only ones that was from the new 10 Commandments, part of the original 10 Commandments, was Galan, Malescula, Monspeak, Doree, and the only unknown about the original 10 Commandments is who observed pacifism. But other than that, we know Meliodas, Gother, Calamidius, Aranak, who eventually died, was part of the original 10 Commandments. And we know that the original 10 Commandments were stronger than this new version of the 10 Commandments, as they were just insanely broken. I mean, Gother was respected. Meliodas, of course, was feared by all 4 clans, and many, many more. Other than that, it's kind of it. They all died horrible death. Fraudrin, of course, dies from Meliodas' reawakened state. Malescula dies mostly because of Escanor. Galan dies because of Escanor. Esterosa doesn't die. He realizes his true identity. Maybe that's a different video, but he becomes Mael again. That's kind of it. And Zeldris, of course, is the only one that is still alive from the version of the 10 Commandments that we see, except for, of course, Esterosa or Mael. Other than that, like, subscribe. Hopefully get more backstory on at least the Gother original dude, because him being dead kind of makes no sense, but he was sick and he is portrayed as someone in a wheelchair. Anyway, like, subscribe, I'll see you in the next one.